Hey everyone, we're still here on Cyrene, so I thought we would do a little bit of a Paneleon Codex hunt because we're going to need a lot of tail tips to upgrade those plates. We're going to need 350, which we do not have. And so we're going to do the daily too, so we're going to kill at least 151 of these real fast and see what we get. And so these guys are nice to swunt because they have 80 hit points, so they have 80 sweat, and then you kill them and you get your normal loot. And so you can kind of make up the difference on that 10% loss just on the sweat you gather, since it's used in a bunch of blueprints on Cyrene, and there's that 500 sweat daily for the Arc badge, in which a lot of people don't have time to sweat a few hours a day to be able to do that quest, and so they just like to buy it. And I like to do the weak Paneleon hunt in that instance because you see we have auto loot, and I don't normally have auto loot. It's literally a function of the instance. And so we don't have to worry about looting it. We just move mob to mob to mob, which is kind of nice. That was a nice one. 4.6 ped or so. And we won't get much codex from it, just because these guys have so low hit points compared to the other Paneleons. I think the Stalker Paneleon is level 67. These guys are level 3. So there's a pretty significant difference there. But the daily will give us some combat reflexes. Oh, that medium grade power supply is nice to get. Those have good markup. We don't get those very often, but you see them around 300%, 250 to 300%. So if you're swanting, you get close to 100%, but then you can get these tail tips like we just got, which is what we're after. And they go for about a ped a piece. See that 2000% markup? And so we don't want to pay that, and so that's why we're doing the daily for the combat reflexes, hopefully get some tail tips, work up a little bit of this codex. I'm trying to dip as many ways as possible today. We're getting the most bang for our buck here that I can possibly think of. And so every tail tip we loot is the equivalent of saving one ped on our goal to get these plates. Since each plate takes 50 tail tips, I think it's 50 clear crystal, but it might be 20. Um, Actually takes a fair amount of stuff. I think it was one flesh, which is a drop off of the impy wasps, or those armored whisker fishes that are like level 57 in the water. And there's one other thing that listed it as a drop. I obviously haven't got that. Ooh, there's 2 tail tips. And so we're doing good on this run as far as getting some tail tips for our plates. We currently have enough tail tips to make 1 plate. So we got 6 to go. And so they have a fair amount of drops that offer some markup. The tail tips, they also drop low grade power supplies and medium grade power supplies, obviously because we got that today. And so that's 3 items that have a 250% markup on the 2 power supplies. And then obviously the tail tips have that impressive markup. And we just got another medium grade power supply. And so we've actually got a fair amount of markup loot already. And so definitely if you're swanting them, you definitely have a good chance of pulling ahead at some point. If you're choosing the right mob that you can sweat and that has some markup loot like this. If it doesn't, you're literally just hoping that the sweat is enough to cover that 10% expected loss. And so you're hoping to kind of break even. I guess if I really wanted to dip on this a little harder, I could have bought the trade terminal rifle and then killed the first 100 with it to do the daily that gives us a couple pen universal ammo. We didn't decide to do that, obviously. We're just going to use the Barbarella to rip through the, I think it was 142 or so that were left. 152, sorry. Because we get 48 or so off the doing the daily. And so these guys obviously aren't hitting us very often. You don't typically need armor if you're just hunting them. If you have a little bit of evasive skills and a regeneration ring, you can probably have no problem sweating the 80 sweat and kind of breaking even on health. Every now and again, they still get me down though. I don't know if they just have a round where they get extra lucky or they're just slowly whittling me down. Because typically when I'm swunting them, I'm not paying that close attention. Their 80 hit points takes 10 to 15 minutes, and so it's nice to queue it up, pull one in, and then go do a small task, and then come back. Check in. If it's dry, switch to a gun, kill it, rinse and repeat. At this point, we're just spinning in a circle, killing again and again. It's nice to not really have to move in between kills. Oh, there's another medium grade power supply. So we've got 7 of those. Again, these are super easy to kill. You see, we're just using the Barbarella that comes in that starter package. You can use the trade terminal rifle or pistol. They have about the same DPS. And again, you don't even need armor if you're just hunting them. You might have to stop and heal if you're trying to swant them early on. And they have they have 80 hit points. And so takes about 25 pack or so per kill, I would guess. Paint always has a little bit of markup. Let's see how much this is. Ooh, 150%. That's not horrible at all. Not bad in any capacity. And so I guess to do the daily would cost you roughly 50 ped, right? So it's 25 pack a kill, 200 kill points. Each one's worth 1 point. So about 50 ped in ammo. That's not really all that bad. If you just did it in two 100 segments and capitalized on that daily, that's the kill 100. I think it gives you 2.5 ped back. That's like 10% ammo back. That literally could bring you break even almost right out the gate. And if you swunted through it, oh man, you might be doing epic. It'd be a slow grind. You wouldn't be getting ahead very quickly, but I think you could potentially pull ahead for sure that way, especially if you were looting some tail tips or some of the markup loot. It's actually probably a little over 25 pack per kill. It's probably closer to 28 or 30. Well, that was a nice one. That was almost 5 ped. It says it's only 50 to 60 ped to kill 200 of them. That's about 10% of what you need back before markup. So between that and the tail tips and power sources you can pick up, you definitely have a chance to kind of get a boost here, we'll say. It's not as cool as the old bar trick on Rocktopia, in which you could buy the rifle from the thing, go into this bar instance, and spray it across the different trolls because they only had like 1 or 2 hit points, and consistently get 110% returns there. They've fixed it with the loot 2.0 and whatnot, but people used to just break rifle after rifle after rifle there. You would just see people reappearing by that drink that starts the instance. Every time I'd go by there, there'd be 3 people in there going in and out. And we just got some scrap metals. They really do have a wide variety of loot. I think the scrap metal's used in a daily quest. And so it has a little bit of markup there. We see 125% normally. Kind of think that 175% might be an anomaly, but it looked pretty solid in the 125. And so that's another item they dropped that has at least okay markup. Looks like my amp will break soon. Luckily, we only have 29 more to go. It'll probably break before that, but it means we won't have to kill too many after it breaks. Well, let's see how this little pistol does then. Oh, we just got a skill boost. Is it a good one? 54% for 10 minutes. We'll be done here pretty fast with this gun. All right, and that's going to complete our daily. Now we're just going to zone out. And then up the top here, under this little tent looking thing, gazebo, is where he'll be once he finally loads in. Ah, there he is. There we go, a little bit of combat reflexes. And so that's the Paneleon daily that I like to do in that weak cavern, because again, we got 7 of the medium grade power supplies, 3 tail tips, and a smattering of other stuff. I hope everyone is having an amazing day. Stay epic.